Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't notice, there are booths at the foyer outside of the Convocation next to this hall that you can visit afterwards, and I will talk more about the booths at the end of this event.
Tuan-puan sekalian, terdapat jerayawara di ruang legar Dewan Convocation. Tuan-puan boleh melawat pameran selepas majlis ini.
External Advisor Scholarship Committee yang berbahagia, Dato' Seri Yusof Cekte, yang berbahagia, Emeritus Professor Dato' Dr. Abdul Aziz bin Tajuddin, Vice Chancellor and President of Al-Bukhari International University, International Embassy's representatives, representative from Al-Bukhari Group of Companies, distinguished guests, member of the university, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Public Lecture Series 3, Unleashing the Best in Youth Towards Zero Unemployment.
Selamat datang ke AIU Public Lecture Series, Unleashing the Best in Youth Towards Zero Unemployment.
The AIU Public Lecture Series, AIU PLS, is a collection of inspiring lectures carefully curated in line with AIU's ethos, which forms part of the university's effort to share knowledge through public talks. The university seeks to provide the community and the wider public the opportunity to listen to outstanding speakers, distinguished scholars, and leading thinkers speak on diverse range of topics, as well as provide a platform for intellectual engagement and lifelong learning.
Untuk makluman semua, PLS yang kedua telah diadakan pada bulan Mac tahun ini bersempena Majlis Convocation Al-Bukhari International University. Sasi Biokimis PLS kedua yang bertemakan So, you want to change the world, telah mengupas isu-isu berkaitan pemerkasaan ekonomi bagi golongan kurang berkemampuan, masyarakat orang asli dan golongan kurang upaya.
Public Lecture Series 3, Unleashing the Best in Youth Towards Zero Unemployment. Our speaker, Ms. Raudhah Nazran, a social entrepreneur who has achieved many awards and accolades in her field, will be sharing her experiences and thoughts mainly on youth and how we can combat unemployment among the youth of the world. So, this will indeed extremely beneficial for us.
Let's kickstart our event today by lending our ears to welcoming remark to be addressed by Yang Berbahagia, Emeritus Professor Dr. Abdul Aziz bin Tajuddin, Vice Chancellor and President of Al-Bukhari International University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah. Asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluh. Amma ba'd. Yang saya hormati saudara dan saudari pengurusi majlis. Yang bahagia Datuk Seri Yusof, member of AIU Scholarship Committee, rakan-rakan timbalan Naib Chancellor yang diraikan dan yang dihormati Puan Raudhah Nazran dan juga Encik Franz suami. Selamat datang ke AIU. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian, Pertama sekali bersyukur kehadrat ilahi kerana kita dapat bertemu di pagi yang berbahagia ini dalam satu acara yang kita selalu anjurkan, what we call it as a public lecture series of AIU. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Mrs. Raudhah, Nazran, and husband from Azrated Global to Al-Bukhari International University. I think I better read the text, or else my speech will be longer than yours. Lecturers are like that. When they are given a mic, they will not return. That means a lot to our students and pupils from the surrounding school. As I have mentioned to you, now we have got 1,103 students from almost 56 to 60 countries all over the world. I believe your idea of self-employment and your journey towards being an icon would motivate the audience in exploring and venturing into self-unemployment as a viable career alternative. And I believe they are looking forward to hear from you, especially from a young lady who are at their age. If listening to me, probably they say it's too old to learn from. Also, thank you to everyone for being able to be with us today, including Datuk Sri, who never miss our program. Thank you very much, Datuk Sri. The public lecture series is organized for students and the public. Actually, this is the only time the public are able to enter the university, because other than that, we normally will not allow the public to come, or else the university will be full with visitors because of the beautiful campus and all the iconic building that we have within our campus. Again, the public lecture series is organized for students and the public to listen to the knowledge and experience of the speakers in various fields related to social business. This is our niche area. Please pay attention to what the speaker is going to deliver, learn, understand, and put to practice the useful guides and tips so that you could be as successful as Ms. Raudhah, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the third public lecture series event. As mentioned, we had one in March, and before that, before the pandemic, we managed to kick off the first public lecture series. At that time, we are only able to do in our auditorium because our hall is not ready yet. So we have to use 3 lecture theaters at that time. But alhamdulillah, today we have got this beautiful big, what they call it, a convocation hall that can house almost over 1,800 participants. This will be a platform to share the collective experiences by our speaker, especially in the IU niche area that I mentioned, social business. As the students are well aware, we are really focused. We are focused on social business, and we would like to be well known as a social business university. And my dream is that one day when people mention social business, they have to mention Al-Bukhari International University. A social business, as defined by Professor Muhammad Yunus, is a business created to solve social issues in financially sustainable way. A social business is established primarily to pursue social or environmental goals rather than personal economic gain. We have been told that to be rich is happy, but to make others happy, you are happier. These are the things that I hope the student will bear that in mind. You thought that when you are rich, you'll be happy. Sometimes there are rich people who are not happy. But take it from me, if you make other people happy, you are happier. Okay, this is the concept that we are trying to imbibe in this particular university with the 8-hour rule. Okay, not 24 hours to earn your living, not 24 hours to relax. But remember that you have got your body that have a right over you. Later on, when you get married, you have family responsibility. Yes, you have to earn a living. Part of your portion of your life will be there. But remember, out there are people who need your help. We mentioned that we have to change the paradigm of the world, that entrepreneurs will be helping the community. Overall, with a no loss, no dividend concept and impact-driven motive, the social business model is a business that turns the motive of profit maximization into benefit maximization. As for today, the lecture will be one of our 3-0 focus area, namely zero employment. To our visitors and to those who are new to AIU, we are putting a stress on 3 zeros: zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero carbon emission. Okay, you can see our campus also zero carbon emission. You hardly see a car because we encourage people to walk, okay, to park on the ground and walk. And today, inshallah, the zero unemployment will concentrate on program and projects encouraging AIU students and the young generation to become job creators. This is the uniqueness of AIU. We try to produce job creators rather than job seekers. In creating job, you are creating more jobs. Through that, you can abolish or have a zero unemployment, and of course, with zero unemployment, there will be zero poverty. So these are things that the uniqueness of this particular university. For information of our guest speaker, the members of the university, either be staff or student, they have to become a member of one of these clubs. Either zero poverty, zero unemployment, or zero carbon emission. And the club conducts digital and entrepreneurial program to equip young generation with relevant 21st century skill. We have successful story where these students have come up with innovative solution and social innovation ideas, focusing on improving the social economy of the communities in Baling and Sik, Kedah. Because for the information of our guests, we are very focused not only in social business, we are also focused in the area that we go in, and also on the region that we take part. In this case, we adopted Sik and Baling, so that the people in Sik and Baling will realize that there is a university, not only an ivory tower, but a university that will help them. And this is we are very focused, and I believe later on, this success will cascade to other areas. It's just a matter of time, inshallah. After this, probably when we go out and see the booth, we will see some of the innovative things that our students have created. And for your information, our motto is inspiring mind. We try to inspire people, and we know that the minds of the people is very extensive and can do a lot of things. That's something that sometimes you cannot get in the classroom. These are the things that we would like our students to be. The potential social solution or innovation would be a new method, business model, tool and equipment. We have got School of Computing Informatics, maybe software or an apps that will improve the quality of the life of the people. Inshallah, during the next hour, you will be learning about social business, especially Zero Unemployment Initiative from Ms. Raudhah. We hope this will help you to understand and configure how we can make zero unemployment a reality. Lastly, again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our speaker, Mr. Nur Raudhah, and the husband, Franz, for being able to make the journey to Kedah as well as to AIU campus. Do enjoy the scenic beauty of our campus as well as the splendor of the Jelapang Padi state of Kedah. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the working committee. They have been working, I know. I believe sleepless night, probably they can sleep after this, or maybe not because we have another program tomorrow. It is the first task that Datuk Razali have to undertake. He just arrived recently to manage the public lecture series. A lot, and then also the members of the committee, I think they are working very, very hard, including preparing the goodies there. Look like a wedding. Maybe the next one, PS4. Somebody want to get married can join in. Once again, thank you very much. My dua that this program will be a step for future success, and then probably I hope the student, especially our student, of course the young students, to listen carefully and to learn from the experience of our prominent speaker today. I always believe that the best teaching is from people from the heart to the heart, not from the book to the book. And today, we will listen to the person who have undergone the process and who knows the trick and so on, and probably have got some ideas and some money, hopefully to help for future project. Please listen. Then I think you can ask question after the session. Once again, Raudhah, thank you very much. Franks, thank you very much for coming. Apologies for any shortcoming, and we know that you are living to our community engagement and community helps. I hope you understand. By doing that, you're actually helping the community, not only in Sik and Baling, not only in Kedah, not only in Malaysia, but I can tell you there are 56 countries, students from 56 countries who are here who will benefit and who remember today that they learned something. Okay, thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the enlightened speech. Thank you very much, Professor Dato Vice Chancellor.
That was awesome, right? 3 zeros and
Very.
everything. All right, so before we begin our talk with our inspiring guest, I think it will be awesome if we can get to know our guest first, right, Mario?
Yeah.
That will be awesome. All right.
You forgot to add our inspiring guest.
And beautiful guest too, mashallah. All right.
Raudhah Nazran, CEO and founder, Accelerate Global. Raudhah Nazran is a Malaysian government scholar who recently gained recognition for her accomplishment. She graduated with honors in law from the United Kingdom and was listed on Forbes 30 Under 30 2022 Asia list. She became the first Asian Muslim female to be appointed to this role and won the Enactors President and Team Leader of the Year award in the UK. Raudhah's involvement in social entrepreneurship led her to speak at various prestigious events to discuss youth unemployment issues and on child's right to education.
In Malaysia, Raudhah has a strong presence and has been appointed to Advisory Board of Curriculum Development of Polytechnic and College Community Malaysia. She oversees module development for the Certificate Business Operations, making her the youngest ever board member. Raudhah has received several accolades for her achievements. Toddler Asia recognized her as one of the Gen T honorees, the top 400 Asian young leaders in 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker, Ms. Raudhah Nazran.
Give a round of applause. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I think I'll be here, if that's okay. Can you guys see me? No, okay, I'll go up. I guess I'm too short then, okay, sorry. Should have worn my heels, but you know, I was traveling. Not the best shoe to wear. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the introduction. It was really lovely and overwhelmingly humbling for me, so thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning, everyone. How's the energy today? Good? Let's give a round of applause to check on the energy. Are we good? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock in the morning and all of you guys are super energetic and I'm glad to have and to be here today. Thank you so much, Prof, for the introduction. And of course, thank you, AIU, for having me today. It's a really broad topic that we are going to talk about today, actually. And it's about unemployment, it's about zero unemployment, and basically how we, young people, can actually become job creators. And so when we look at the topic of unemployment, I think there's a lot of mechanics behind it. There's a lot of, economy, the social value. But today, I won't bore you with an economics lecture. But what I will do, I will be sharing with you guys my story and my journey of how I started my social enterprise and how I've, alhamdulillah, managed to not just create a job for myself and my beneficiaries, but also for the people in Malaysia and also abroad. If we can have the slides up, if that's okay. I do have some slides, but don't worry, it's mainly pictures, in other words. I'll introduce myself beyond than just what the MCs have introduced me. I'm just a humble girl. I'm 27 years old this year, although I always say that I stopped at 25. So we can always just agree that I'm always going to be 25 years old. I am the eldest. I was raised by a single mother who is really strong, who has made me to become who I am today. I've got a brother, married to my very supportive husband who follows me everywhere I go. Yes, that's right. A round of applause to him. We all need a supportive partner, so it's very important. And really, as much as I'm standing in front of all of you today, I think it's best for me to admit that I'm more of an introvert than I am an extrovert. It is a bit weird because people say that, how can you be an introvert? I mean, you take the mic and you talk and you walk, but really that's the reality behind it. So we've got the slides, fantastic. Can you go to the next one? Sorry, I don't have a clicker, guys. I'm gonna have to keep doing that. If you can just go to the next slide, that's just my face, basically. And that's who I am. So I was a government scholar, as the MCs have mentioned, NASDAQ or London Stock Exchange, to go public, to make sure that we can show to the world that social business, social entrepreneurship has a place in the economy, and that's my dream. But sometimes when you think about a macro dream, it's also very important for you to look at the micro. Right, and starting small, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I started with zero capital, and there's nothing embarrassing about it. In fact, any businesses in this world, they start small, and they slowly and slowly grow bigger. And I think I'm just here to remind all of you that if you do have that ambition to start that social business, start. Even if it's small, even if it's just that first step that you need to take, because that first step is a step towards bigger things. And I think that's really, really important. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Because I don't remember the order of my slide. But yes, so 3 years, right? So I started Accelerate in 2019. We are in 2023 now. I forgot about the years because of the pandemic. My apologies. So 3 years in the making. During the pandemic, alhamdulillah, what happened was we became stronger than ever because we were tackling the issue of unemployment. The government saw the importance of that. Corporates saw the importance of that. And so because of that, in 2021, we actually had a surge in demand for our upskilling programs. And this is me sharing a little bit of insight, right? So from 2019 until 2021, it was literally just 2.5 team members. It was me, it was another associate of mine, and an intern. So I say it half because he comes and goes, right? So 3 months, and then he leaves, and then the next one comes. So I only had literally 2 full-times, including myself, and an intern at the time. And so because the demand was really high, we could not meet the demand. And we couldn't maximize our revenue growth, right? So at the time, we could only run 1 program at a time. It's either I'm teaching or my associate is teaching. I'm also the finance person. I'm also the HR person. I'm also basically the cleaner for our office. Basically, I was everything. But then we realized that in 2021, because there is a surge in demand, we thought, okay, it's time. We have validated our business model. We have validated our programs. It's time that Accelerate grows. And this is also very crucial, right? I did say we start small, but I never said remain small. You start small, but you grow and grow, and you need to keep growing bigger and bigger. So in 2021 was when I decided it's time, we have the results, we have the numbers, we're profitable. It's time to go out there and get more allies and investors to back us. So I actually went for equity crowdfunding platform. I gave up about 8% of my equity and raised 470,000 ringgit. And from a company that was basically starting with zero capital, our valuation to date is 6.6 million ringgit. So that was a huge sort of, thank you. Thank you. So that was a really huge stepping stone for Accelerate. We raised the money, our valuation went up. I have 69 investors now from over 10 different countries. So because we understood that there was a demand, so people wanted to learn more. They wanted to go through our programs more. So what we did, if you can go to the next slide, guys, thank you. We raised that amount to actually build our very own e-learning platform. And that e-learning platform stores all of our programs, all of our courses, so young people from across the world can actually access education anytime, anywhere. I want to pause at this particular slide because this slide always gives me flashbacks and chills. When I started Accelerate, I told my husband that we need to have an app. There is no way I can be in 10 places at one time. You know, like if I teach in Penang, I won't be able to teach in KL. Even if I hire 10 trainers, we won't be able to maximize impact where my aim is really to impact youths from all over the world. And I remember writing in my notebook that by 2023, Accelerate Global will run physical programs and will also have an app. That was in 2019. And from 2019 until 2020, I did not think about it at all. Like, I didn't even think that we were gonna build an app. And it was not until the launch of Ace Education last year that I opened my notebook and I realized that was what I wrote when I first started Accelerate. What I'm trying to share is the power of your dreams, the power of manifestation. Or rather, in Islam, we've got dua, right? So you make dua, you make dua, you make dua, Allah hears it, Allah grants it. And that's what I absolutely believe in. And I wrote that, but I never think about it. I didn't even thought about it until it was the launch and I opened, oh my God, that was exactly my dream. That was where I wanted Accelerate to be. And we were faster because I wanted it to be in 2023, but we launched in 2022. So it was that track, right? And what I want to share, which I guess can be beneficial for some of you, is that as an entrepreneur, that dreaming big is unlimited, right? You need to be able to do that whilst also focusing on the execution on the ground. And there's no limit to your dream. And what I have been doing, I think, what I did not realize, I guess, since I was a kid, I've always been dreaming. So that has always been me. So when I was in high school, I told myself I want to study in the UK. Every time I see an airplane, I tell my mom, the next time we're going to the airport, you're going to send me because I'm going to be a scholar and I'm going to go. And I got it, right? And there's multiple other things that has happened. Forbes, for example, the MC mentioned that I was recognized by Forbes recently last year. That was also my dream when I was in high school. And I didn't know that I wasn't going to get it until last year. So it was that, literally that dream, the ability to dream and manifest is really, really important. So never limit your dream, never limit your ambition. What I would say is you dream big and make sure that you have an execution plan and everything will be fine, inshallah. Thank you, guys. I feel so much love here, so it's fantastic. So yes, we have an app. Now, because we're a social business, I think going back to the topic, right? The app itself is supposed to be generating revenue for the company. It's basically our aim of achieving that financial sustainability. Because the question I've always had in my mind, what if the corporate pulls out? What if PwC suddenly says, or any other companies, right, not just PwC, or any corporates out there says, look, we don't want to fund upskilling programs anymore. What's going to happen to the sustainability of Accelerate? That's where the app comes in, because, can we go to the next slide? The next slide, thank you. Yeah. Convocation is actually a subscription-based platform, and the social element behind it is that for every single subscription fee that is paid for by a young person that can afford it, one in-need youth will actually be given free access to our programs and our platform. And it really advances our mission, because my mission has always been, the next one, thank you, to actually impact 1 million young people. And so what it does, it allows us to amplify that impact. It reaches the financial sustainability, but then on the flip side, it also allows us to reach that impact. So you can imagine, like Netflix, right? Because our programs, which are actually created by my husband, he's actually the producer, they're much like series and movies like Netflix, so it's really fun learning process. So you watch it, it's like a series about entrepreneurs, young people, super fun, much like a reality show kind of. But when you watch it, it's fun and you learn. And it's not just you who's going to learn, another young person will also be able to learn as well. And that is basically how a social business works, right? You always have to think about the financial sustainability behind it as well. And so the beauty of this, if we can go to the next slide, I share this because as a social business, it's important to understand that you always have to evolve. I think a lot of times the mistake, or rather it's not a mistake, right? I think it's just all of us make the same mistake, I think. So when you enter into the social entrepreneurship world, especially for someone like me, because I'm impact driven, a lot of times we forget that there's that financial aspect that you have to take care of. And so whilst you run an impact organization, a social business, you need to understand that you also have to have a startup mindset. The company itself, like I mentioned before, is it able to sustain itself? That's one. But number two, are we evolving as per the industry? Because industries evolve every single day, right? Technology rapidly evolves every single day. As an organization, you need to be able to remain relevant. And during the pandemic, running physical programs were absolutely not relevant because no one was out, all right? So you have to change that, you have to tweak that, you have to use technology to your own benefit, to your own good. And so if you have a social business, if you are running one, if you are looking to run one, always remember to actually run a market analysis every single quarter. Is your organization relevant? Is that product relevant? Are your customers happy? Do they want it still? Because without that element, there is no social business. There's just an NGO. There's just a non-profit. It's just a foundation. The difference between social business and a foundation or a profit is the very fact that social business generates income, generates profit. And I think that's the most important element that I want to stress here, because that's what makes it sustainable. If not, then basically you're either a work in progress or you're a foundation slash NGO or non-profit, basically. So market waits for no one. Second, I do want to share that vulnerability is a sign of strength, and this is really important. And I think this is talking about the realities behind social entrepreneurship. When you start a social business, you might not know everything. When I started Accelerate, if you compare myself at 21, at 23, and now, it's a whole lot different, right? And I think it's important as young people to admit when you don't know a certain thing and to seek knowledge and help from other people. That's really, really vital, and I cannot stress that enough. Accelerate now has 4 board of directors. Board of directors who are CEOs of either GLCs, but who has done it, who has learned. And I want them in because that's the only way that you are able to grow. And that's really important. And there's no such thing as, oh, I don't want to raise my hands if I don't know anything. I don't want to tell people about what I'm not good at because they might use that. Of course they might, but we live in a society right now where if you don't ask for help, then help won't be given to you. So if there's anything that you need in terms of your business, in terms of, really about anything, don't be shy to just put your hands up, ask, and get the help you need. Because I'm here because I actually asked for help. Like, I wouldn't be here if I'm just alone, riding, doing whatever it is. For instance, I don't know anything about building an app, right? But I have a developer who builds an app for me? And so it's that trust that you need to have that is super, super crucial. If we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. When it comes to social business or even being a social entrepreneur, I think it's also important, the two elements on the slides is also very important. I'll start with the second one, that life is a marathon and not a sprint. I used to work at an incredible speed, mashallah. Thank you, thanks to Allah. I'm fast. So when my people are not as fast as me, I'll be like, why is it taking you so long, right? Because I work quick. So if I want the proposal, if I have an event, I would want the event to run tomorrow, for instance. But that's just who I am, because I'm ENTJ apparently. So that's what I do. But I realized that if you start, or rather if you speed up, it's either you're not going to go far because you have a team, right? So it's either you're not going to go far, or you are going to get tired real quickly and you're going to burn out. In social business, because we have these two elements, we have the business, we have the impact side, it's important to understand that we are doing double work. We have two KPIs. We have the impact KPI, we have the revenue KPI. I answer to 69 investors who wants to make sure the company is profitable, but at the same time, we are creating tangible impact. So basically, you're working double time. And so it's important to also remember to manage your energy, because that's how your business or your company or your organization will remain sustainable. And that's really, really important. And another element is that, you are going to make mistakes. I've made a bunch of mistakes that I don't even remember off anymore because it's too much or too many. Can't count, so it's much. But it's important to understand that when you start or when you begin that journey of social entrepreneurship, there's really nothing wrong in making mistakes. Know that when you do make mistake, it's actually a sign of growth. When you don't make mistakes, then either you're not stepping out of your comfort zone or you're not trying new things. Every single time I try new things, I make the same mistakes over and over again. I have a journal now, actually. It's a small book. And I write. When I make a mistake, what am I going to do to rectify it, number one? And number two, how am I going to react differently, or what am I going to do differently, right? And every single time I write, I will try my level best not to repeat the same mistakes. But I catch myself sometimes in situations where it's the same mistake again, right? But then you have to keep reminding yourself, because that's the only way we, not just as social entrepreneurs, but actually as humans, evolve and grow. We are never made to be perfect in the first place. We are made to be imperfect. At the end of the day, it's the world, the dunya, is never perfect. So until you understand that, that's when you're actually able to grow and move forward as a business. So those are the two things that I actually want to share. And I'm about to end already, so if you do have any questions, feel free. I'm not sure how we're going to take the questions, but yeah, if we can go to the next slide. I think there's a few more, actually. Is there more? Right, yes. I already mentioned this. Can we skip it? I think go towards the end, I think so. Yeah, I think I've already mentioned this as well, right? Life is not easy. You just get wiser, and I think that's the most important thing. That is my story, and I do hope that it helps all of you. Like I said, it's not really a lecture. It's more of just a sharing. And let's go to Q&A, I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So give a round of applause for our speaker today. It is tremendously fantastic. It is amazing. I personally, I left the podium just to watch you and just to listen to the talk. It was amazing.
And one more thing, everybody is wide awake. Nobody's sleeping.
It is amazing.
Do you realize that?
Thank you, though. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, okay. As you probably heard, that we're going to open a Q&A session, or question and answer. So everybody here, everyone, feel free to ask if you have any questions. And audience, if you have any questions, you may walk to the nearest microphone. We got one microphone, or I can actually take to you too, and just raise your hand. But I'm not sure for the people upstairs, but maybe I can just throw the mic, and I'm not going to do that. Or I can go upstairs too. So feel free, if you have any questions, to raise your hand. Yes? Oh, what am I doing? She got a question. Okay. All right.
I'll be here for questions, okay?
That's awesome. And you may stand up if you have any questions, yeah? Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Thank you so much for such an inspiring lecturing and sharing. I believe that all of students and audience here enjoy your speech so much. So I have one question for you. I hope this is like a sound question. Well, anyway, how do you produce a robust and bulletproof business plan for a social business? And how do you keep the competitive edge of your business against other competitors, as business models can easily be replicated by other businesses? Yeah,
Very
that's my
important
question.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you for accepting too.
No, that's actually a very important question, right? When it comes to business model, there are two things that we need to understand. And you mentioned it, it's easy to be replicated, right? I think number one is an understanding that your idea may never be an original idea. A lot of times the idea we have in our head, someone else might have thought about it. It's either they pursued it or they did not. So I think until you understand that, look, our ideas are never our intellectual property, right? Until you, patent it. It's just how life is going to be. So I'll share with you a story. I've got this one organization, or rather not organization, but let's just say A, okay. A loves to copy me. Oh Lord, everything we do, they do. It's funny. It's funny. And I used to find it really, I used to get stressed out about it. I'm like, why can't you come up with your own original idea? Can you please just don't copy us? Until my board of directors, Serena, who was actually the CEO of MDEC, she told me, Raudhah, people can copy your business model. People can copy your product, but no one is going to accelerate, because your business is driven by your heart. Any one of your businesses, right? When you run your business, it's driven by your heart. You cannot replicate the heart and soul that you pour when you build your product. And that's the difference. So when you meet your customers, they are going to say, oh, it's quite similar. But when they try your product or when they use your service, that's where the differentiation lies. And I used to be really worried about people duplicating, replicating, until I realized that perhaps the bigger thing that I should think about is whether or not the quality of the service and the product that we provide is of top notch. I think that's number one. Number two, when we talk about building a bulletproof business model, you absolutely have to have mentors. My board of directors are the ones that actually help me build an almost bulletproof business model. I say almost because there is no bulletproof business model. Except health, because it's recession proof. Food is also recession proof, right? So even if you are in recession, people will still buy food. But other than that, other industries, it's never 100% bulletproof because it will be affected by the economy. But what you can do as an entrepreneur is taking active steps to identify a red flag before it becomes one. For instance, I'll give an example. With Accelerate in 2021, as I mentioned, right, we could not maximize our revenue because there's only 2 people. And if we kept running that way, it's either we are going to lose our corporate clients who keep wanting us to amplify the program impact. Either we're going to lose them or we're going to keep remaining as a small business. And because I saw that coming from a mile away, that's when we started to fundraise, have that capital injection to grow. To be able to see a red flag from a mile away, you need to spend time to reflect on that business model, accompanied by your revenue stream and your profitability, and then you'll be able to see whether or not your business model requires that cutting edge that you just mentioned. It's a lot of reflection. Accelerate runs reflection every quarterly. At the end of every quarter, we had our Q1, we're going to have our Q2, Q3, Q4, and we keep on changing things every single quarter. And that's just how it is. If you don't keep changing, it's either you're not going to grow or you're going to run out of business in no time. I hope that answers your question. That's right.
Thank you so much for the questions. Any more questions? We got from students behind there. Anyone that you might choose, sir? Or maybe, yeah. Alrighty. I actually have a questions too, but I didn't get a chance, but we'll see.
Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for your insightful sharing. I believe that we would try our best to apply all your teaching that you gave us today. And my question is, of course, we know in life we face like many things. We have our professional life, we have our personal life as well. So how you could manage to keep your personal growth as well as your work like together? I want to know what are the challenges that you faced to make balance like between the both sides.
Very good question.
Thank you.
Timely as well. Okay, I mentioned earlier, vulnerability is a sign of strength, right? So this is me practicing that particular. You can sit. Don't worry. I'll stand. I'm the speaker. So now I'm gonna practice that mantra of mine. I actually just came back from a deep work retreat. And I actually had to take a deep work retreat because I was extremely mentally exhausted. Like, I couldn't. The quality of my work were going down. Basically, I was not living a balanced life, right? I think it's important, number one, to live a balanced life is for you to understand yourself first. So what I mean by understanding oneself is this. When you work, you know how fast you can work. You also know when you're gonna get tired, right? You also know these little symptoms that you might have, where you might feel, oh, I don't feel very good anymore. The quality of my work is already deteriorating. You need to be able to see that, right? To be able to live a balanced life is to be able to understand yourself first, because every single one of us works differently. I work better at 3 a.m. than at 11 p.m. But some people might work better at 11 p.m. and might not work good at 4 a.m. Once you understand that, then you'll be able to capture that window of when you're able to work at your maximum potential. You don't even need to work the whole day. I believe in working 4 hours, deep work, compared to 8 hours of work and play, if you get what I mean, right? So you work and then you play with your phone and then you check it out. So I believe in 4 hours of like work, and that's what I practice. So find your window. What is your prime time? My prime time is 4 to 10. So I don't take meetings past 10 anymore. And my team knows that. So find your prime time, and inshallah you'll be able to find that balance. That's number one. Number two is understand that it's a progress. I have yet to achieve, or rather I'm yet to be able to say, I have achieved work-life balance, right? I don't know if I ever will, but I do know that I can take active steps to improve on my balance. That's second. Third, if you see your work as your life, you might not need work-life balance after all, right? If you see it as your life. So I enjoy the work that I do until I won't, then that's when I take a break. But it's important to enjoy what you do and inculcate that as a part of your life. And once you have that, I think you'll be fine. The way I see Accelerate, and I think some of you guys can relate this, the way I see Accelerate is not work. I actually see it as a way to enter Jannah, to enter heavens, actually. That's just the way I see it. So every single day, whenever I have to work, I see it as just my life. It's something that I have to do, a responsibility that I have as a Muslim woman living on this earth. And I think once you find that, you'll be able to achieve it. It's a work in progress though, so, okay, cool.
All right, thank you so much. Are you still accepting this so much? I think we got so many questions.
Cool, we can do it the whole day.
That's amazing,
Yes,
that's
let's
awesome.
do it.
All right, so actually we got our beloved guest from SMK Ibrahim from Sungai Petani. Can you guys raise your hand? SMK Sungai Petani, Ibrahim Sungai Petani? There you go. And then SMK Agama Yen. So we're going to open questions for you guys if you have any questions to our speaker today. And feel free to ask in Malay or English. So English. It works, yeah. Bahasa Melayu also works, right?
No problem.
No problem.
She will answer your question.
Yeah.
Boleh. Jom.
Boleh.
Kalau ada soalan, boleh. Of course boleh.
Everyone seems like hypnotized when you're like speaking English. I'm like, whoa, English.
So any
No worries.
questions from our guest?
From SMK Ibrahim Sungai Petani and SMK Agama Yan.
Feel free, don't be shy, raise up your hand.
Don't be shy. Or the teachers, maybe, from SMK Sungai Ibrahim Sungai Petani?
Anyone?
Everyone are like very shy. The adik-adik is very shy.
Okay, then
All
I
right.
think we'll proceed with the next question.
All right. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
One more from behind first, sir. Okay.
We'll come back
All
to
right.
you, sir.
I'll come back to you. Introduce yourself first. That will be awesome. All right.
Okay, I'm Khairia. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for your great and inspiring speech. I really feel it and from your heart. Thank you. I want to ask, you said the financial sustainability is one of the most important factors in any successful business, and I totally agree with this. But my question is how to make it happen, and how is there available like platform to apply for revenues or like for grants or aid or for something, or are there always like potential investors in the area or in the market? What are your recommendations, especially for the beginner startups? How could they generate the capital? Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, that's a very important question. Okay, so I'll address whether or not there are key players or key investors in Malaysia. There are, but unfortunately limited, right? It's just how it is. I'll go to you because you can't see me. So when it comes to investments, impact investing it's called, because it's different than startups, because startups are normally venture capital who just gives money because they want absolute profit return, right? But for social enterprise, normally you should go for impact investors. And they are in Malaysia, but very, very limited. The routes that you can take that I would absolutely recommend would be equity crowdfunding. That's exactly what I did, because you're basically giving out some equity, but you're calling people from all walks of life if you want to invest in an impact-driven business. And a lot of times when you do that, you're basically calling more investors rather than just the institutional investors. Because a lot of time institutional investors, yeah, they say they want impact, but there's still that profit element that you need to meet, right? It's all about matching and alignment, because you do not want investors that are not aligned to your values. I think that's really crucial. That's number one. Number two, in terms of opportunities, and good that you ask. So Accelerate Global actually have a program coming up. It's a program with capital injection of up to 10,000 ringgit. So if you are interested, you can definitely talk to me, or anyone else is interested. If you have a social business, we're looking for social business run by youths between the age of 17 to 35 years old. Have a business, you know, or have started or either want to start a business, then there is an opportunity of 5,000 to 10,000 ringgit. So you can always come to me. Third, when it comes to building financial sustainability, it's not going to happen in a day or in a year, to be honest with you. Accelerate struggles with it still. We have revenue flow, we have cash flow, but it's always this, right? The bigger you grow, the more money you need to grow. So Accelerate in 2019, if they had money that we have now, we're good. But Accelerate now needs more money to grow because we want to go to IPO, right? So it's always a struggle. And funding will always be something that you have to do as a CEO and as a founder. It's never going to go away until you exit. So that's it. Does that answer your question? Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank
you
you so
very much.
Not to forget, not to mention also, we forget to mention that SMK Kedah also here. Can we give a round of applause for SMK Agama Kedah? Thank you so much for your attending, let's say so. All right, so one last question?
Yeah, we'll take one last question
From Mr. Needle, yeah? Here we go, Mr. Needle.
The mic, please, to Sir Needle.
Okay.
Those who are not able to ask, I'm here almost the whole day, I think. My flight is at 6, so you can come to me.
That will be, thank you so much. I mean, that was awesome.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Nidal from the School of Education and Human Sciences. I have one question which may end up in two sub-questions anyway. So I go back again to the investors, because I'm so interested on, see, when you target a KPI of 50-50, how do you filter the investors? Like, do they have to be in the same line with you as a social entrepreneur, or you accept any investor as long as they want to invest? That's the first question. The second question is, let's say you accept investors who don't care much about the social impact, but they just care about the money making. How do you deal with them? Thank you.
Very important. I'll answer the second. I don't take them at all. I don't. I think that's the thing, right? So I think in the market, and I speak a lot to the young people, because sometimes you're not desperate, but you're trying to achieve your dreams, right? You need the capital injection, you need the money. And so when investors come and say, I'm willing to put in 2.5 million, for example, it's a huge amount of money. It's a huge amount of money for you to say no to. And I have been in positions where people are ready to give money, but there's a misalignment in terms of values. I was, just to be completely transparent, I was about to take, my husband knows, an investment, until my mom asked me a question. Are you then willing to answer to him until you exit? And exiting can be 2 years, exiting can be 5 years, exiting can be 10, or even never, right? Because IPO is a long route. And so that puts things back in perspective. The money is short term. You get it, fantastic, money goes away. Money finishes, and you're going to do another round of fundraising. Having investors who are going to be shareholders in your company, that's going to be a long time until you go exit, until you go IPO. And so it's all about seeing in that lens to be able to say no. It's really enticing to take. And me, as a social entrepreneur, that has happened to me. Alhamdulillah, I did not take. In terms of filtering the investors, it's really about working with the right partners. So Accelerate worked with an organization called Ethis Malaysia. The CEO, Dazrik, is a friend of ours and also a social entrepreneur. So identifying which institution to raise your investment, it's very crucial as well. They're also very Sharia compliant, alhamdulillah. Any investors that came, they screen where the money comes from, of course, and that has actually helped Accelerate find impact-driven investors, which is very, very crucial. We are currently fundraising again this year because we're scaling up. We've been at it for about 5 months, I think so. We've got investors who are interested, but due to misalignment and things like that, we would rather wait. So if there's any advice for the youths, for the lecturers as well, who are looking to start and scale your business, remember that money is huge. They can throw at you, but money is short term. It's going to finish no matter how much they're going to give you, even billions. But that relationship is going to stay. If you as the founder has the power to fight, fantastic. I do not want to fight that battle. I choose my battle, obviously, right? And I think that is very, very crucial as well. Yeah. So with Accelerate, we do, what we are doing now is to invest in social businesses as well. And what we do is to make sure that the alignment is there, and that's why our only focus is social business and not startups, although they have high returns. Yeah. And also expectations, right? You have to speak. I think I just wanted to add, when we talk about investors, we have impact investors, but they will still ask about profits. That's what I've realized, you know, they're very keen on the impact, but at the end of the day, you know, it's money. You'll always go back to when are you going to hit that first year goal or second year goal and third year goal. And I think as a founder, as a CEO, you just have to have that facts and figures to back you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Give a round of applause again. Well, this is actually the last question and answer sessions for now.
Okay.
For now, just people are getting anxious now, you know, including me. I'm actually getting anxious now to not having a chance to ask questions. But don't worry, after this, yep,
Sure.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, after this, Ms. Raudhah and the husband can go visit the ARU social business booths.
Exhibition.
That is prepared. So everybody here can go there after the closing ceremony to walk around, to grab as much as you can, as much merchandise as you can, because there are so many interesting products that ARU social business have. And feel free to go there after this. And after that visit, you may go back for those who want to have questions to ask to Ms. Raudhah. Is
So-
that all right?
You may come back here and ask your questions to our guest.
Yeah, and then you may come back to convocations. Then you can ask, and we can have a session for some time to ask a question because people have literally a lot of questions. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, okay, thank you so much once again to our speaker. Give a round of applause again, one more time. It was tremendously fantastic. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we have prepared some tokens of appreciation for our speaker today. We would like you to accept this gift in appreciation of your time spent with us today. I would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Emeritus Professor Dr. Abdul Aziz bin Tajuddin, Vice Chancellor and the President of Al-Bukhari International University, to please present the token awards. Thank you.
Ms. Raudhah also, please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's capture this moment by taking. Can we take photo? Yeah.
Automatically ready, yeah? We got also a special merchandise for our speaker today.
Yep. Exclusive, yeah.
It is very exclusive because it is from AIU Social Business product from our students, Al-Bukhari International University, which is amazing. Alrighty, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
A round of applause once again, everybody.
Was it a very nice session, isn't it? Do you guys agree? Yeah? Was it good? It was amazing. All right, maybe let's just capture our moment by taking a group pictures. Is that okay? Maybe the cameraman can go to the stage to take a pictures together.
A group photo of everybody. So cameraman, you may come to the stage.
All right. Madam Iman will help us.
Yep, thank you, madam.
Because it's a very wide hall so that we can take it from the stage.
Also, the people upstairs will be in the picture, yeah?
Give your best smile and your, motivated expressions.
Look into the camera, everybody.
All right, I'll do the countdown. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Cheese or burger or nasi lemak. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, seems like done. One more time. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Some freestyle.
Do we have to do a boomerang? No, we don't have to actually. Shall we?
Sure,
I
let's
think that would be
go.
awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, one more time? Is it a boomerang, a video, or what is it? Everyone can wave at a camera. Maybe say hi. Amazing, they're following me.
Thank you for paying attention.
One more time, I would like to say thank you to the beloved guest, SMK Ibrahim Sungai Patani, SMK Agamayan, SMK Agama Kedah. It is amazing to have you guys, adik-adik here, and give applause for them. And you are also given a chance to take a tour, yeah? Al-Bukhari International University's tour. You can see this magnificent buildings that we have in architecture. It is amazing if you want to see outside later on. All right, so I think that's the end of our PLS today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank everybody who attends this talk.
Don't forget, we have many interesting booths outside located in the foyer. Feel free to visit and grab as much insight as possible to show your support to social enterprise. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
My name is Fatir.
And I'm Mariam.
Thank you so much.
Attention
students?
to all LC students, please kindly stay back. Thank you.
LC students.
Kindly stay back.